Welcome back. We're going to do another project kind of like the cat toy one. This is an oldie. I've done this one when I was in Scouts, but not even Boy Scouts, I think Cub Scouts. And we're going to make a pencil holder out of a can and decorated ourselves a little bit of yarn. So I'll show you how to get going on that one. So if you did the cat one, the principle is almost the same here. Maybe you don't have a cat, maybe you didn't want to do a cap. This is cool, especially if you're going to be making something for your workstation at home. And I've got some yarn here. You can use other things. If you try to use string, it'll take you about 10 years. So you need something a little thick to do this with. I've got a couple colors of yarn. And the idea here is just the same. We're going to start wrapping this with the yarn, keeping it rather tight. So what I'm going to do to start with is get this going. And to do that, I need to glue a little bit of yarn. And again, hot glue's best, but if you're worried about burning yourself, you can use other glue. You notice I've left the paper on the can. I'm not sure about whether that's the best idea or not, but I think the paper will help my glue stick here. So I'm going to let that kind of dry for 1 second because I don't want to pull on it. And after it dries, I'll come back and start wrapping. All right, it's dried now, so I'm going to start at the bottom. And making sure that's real tight at the bottom, just start wrapping this up all the way around, going next to each other, okay? Keeping it tight. So I'm thinking about changing colors here, so I've got this wrapped up pretty tight, and now what I'm going to do is just dab some glue right here. Kind of let that dry for a second. And get my next bit of yarn here. And I'm going to put that right down there. Give it a little dab, that's where I'm going to go with it. Give it a little dab there as well. Alright. And let that dry for just a second so it doesn't pull out. Cut this red one. It's drying. It doesn't have to be I don't want it all the way dry, actually. I want it still a little bit wet because I'm going to come back through it. And this is the hard part because you don't want to actually pull it out of that glue. So now I'm going to work it around. When I come back, I'm going to make sure to go through that, not burn myself because it's a little dry now. And now I'm just going to start working this blue one around the exact same way. Going over that red so it doesn't show, see? All right. Alright, lots of different ways to finish this. I'm going to run a short bead of glue around the top there and then run my stuff through it. Let that dry for just a second. I don't want to burn myself. I'll make sure that's in there. It's not hot anymore, so I can kind of push on it. Really make sure it's in that glue. Alright. Now we'll let that dry for a little bit more because I don't want to pull it out. And all we have to do is cut our excess here. So on this we have this, you notice all my connections are here. It's my back side and here's my front side. And I now have a pencil holder for my workspace. There we go.